G'day folks. I was asked a question recently what I carry in my pack for a particular activity, and it's a difficult question to answer because it's a very personalised issue. What I carry versus what you'll probably carry is going to be slightly different. It depends on the level of experience you have in wilderness environments and also what level of discomfort or comfort you are more leaning towards. So I guess the most honest way I can approach this particular question is just to take a pack that I've used recently on a 4-day activity, open it up and have a look, and I'll explain what's in there and why it's in there, and hopefully that'll answer the question we've just been delivered. So let's have a look inside, guys. And this is the PlateAttack Medium Assault Pack. We've had a look at this before. We're going to do a more detailed review of it in a little while. But this one has been configured with external pouches because that's the way I'm comfortable operating. If that's not you, that's a personal choice. Now, I like that because it means while I'm moving through an activity and I stop for lunch, everything I need to cook a meal on the walk is on the external pouch, so I don't have to go into the main compartment of the pack at any particular time during the day unless there's something desperately I need. That just minimises the chance of leaving stuff behind, and it also just makes it more expedient for me to get stuff out during the course of the day. So I've got a cooking set in this front pouch. I have got my brew gear in this top pouch. This pouch over here is all tools and equipment utilised to set up camp. So that's what I use as a ground sheet. It is just an army stretcher top that I utilise as an emergency stretcher for the activities I'm running as well. In here I've got a range of other tools, a saw, an umbrella. In the conditions I'm operating in at the moment, I don't need a rain jacket or Gore-Tex of any particular sort, so I just use a brolly, a Millbank filter and toilet paper. The only thing missing out of that pouch, which is normally in there, is also a small spade or shovel, and that just helps me go to the toilet, open up trenches for my fire and to establish my camp. So this pouch, as I said, was all cooking gear. That's my cooking set. You guys have had a look at that before. Nothing's changed there. Still just simply a spirit burning stove and an Army Cups canteen cook set arrangement. Brew gear on this side. Keep that all in pouch, in bags, waterproof bags, to keep it A, protected, B, collocated so I can make sure I know where things are at any given particular time. That's just tea, coffee, milk, sugar, that type of thing. On the other pouches that are on the side, where we are at the moment, and when this activity was, this pack was last used for an activity, it was quite dry, very hot, very dry. So I've got additional water carriage fitted to this particular pack and included in the pack itself. So down the side here there's 2 litres of water. Up on the top side here there's another 2 litres of water. Hoochie, just a stock standard army hoochie. I still haven't found anything better than those to actually just set up a camp and live out of. So that's all the external pouches. On the top pouch here I have a small setup. This is my fire lighting kit. This is stuff I'm going to use every activity, every camp. And a small bag of goodies that I utilise day-to-day stuff. So knife sharpening kits, trapping gear, head nets, electrical tape, spare cordage, and that type of thing. And that's the stuff that while I'm setting up a camp or while I'm in my camp, I may access on a regular basis. And it's also small things. I wanted them all centralised in one spot so I could find them when I needed to. So that's the external aspects of the pack itself. Internally, and I'll open this suitcase fashion so you can sort of see how it rolls. In the top here is my journal, a book, just in a waterproof bag that also doubles as a foraging bag for me. It's quite cool here. We get down to, we've just recently had a -4, so I've treated myself to a bit of just a polar fleece. Because it's winter, I'm using a Softy 3 in conjunction with a bivy bag to provide me enough warmth at night. and that's been fine at the temperatures we've been having here. Obviously, as it gets hotter, I'll change my sleeping arrangement around, and if it's super cold, I'd buff it up. Obviously, with a big pack, I can carry more warm gear. With a pack this size, it's about 45 litre configuration, nearly 50 litres with the extra stuff I've got on the outside of it. I can tend to be restricted on what I actually carried. Communications gear and solar recharging, battery power storage stuff for my communications and cameras. Bivy bag, a lightweight one, simple one. I use that in conjunction with an umbrella to establish shelter, or put up the hoochie and that goes in underneath with my sleeping bag inside. Water pump. In Australia, if you're cruising around the bush and you don't have a water pump or a way to filter water, I think you're crazy. You need to have a number of systems. I use all stainless steel water bottles. I have at least 2 of these in every pack that I utilise. That's my baseline boiling capability. I also use a metal cup and a metal pot. So I have at least the capability to boil water as a baseline system for keeping myself hydrated. A filter, this is just a Katadyn Vario. A filter perfect for coming across muddy dams, local water holes, creeks, streams, to get myself safe, clean, purified drinking water. So it's worth the weight, worth the volume it carries. This is my food bag. It's looking a little empty at the moment. It normally is probably full, and I usually only carry about a kilogram of food total. A lot of that is dried products, flour, oats, that type of reconstitutable food that I can utilise whilst I'm out. Carry a couple of tins of fish, and as in sardines or tuna, and the rest is dried fruits, biltong, jerky for some of you, and that's what I basically utilise as my primary food. I don't have great big luxurious meals out in the field. I don't need them. I'm able to function for 4 or 5 days at this level quite happily, and I supplement my food intake with foraging on the walk or around my camp area. More water bottles. Got a wet weather, a tinder kit in here, medical equipment, okay, just a simple med kit, and in the bottom is my transpiration bags. Again, in this country, travelling and operating in the bush without transpiration bags, one day you're going to get caught. Having a filter and having carried water is one aspect of things, but not having transpiration bags to be able to derive water from the environment, you're just setting yourself up for a big hit at some point. So that's the internal aspect of the pack. I carry a lot of cordage. I carry it all on carabiners, and depending on the activity I'm running, sometimes I'll carry a utility rope of about 20 feet. Just to lower packs down, lower people down, assist with stretcher construction, all that type of thing I've got to be responsible for to get people in and out of an activity safely. But I basically cut up all my paracord into 2 metre lengths and 4 metre lengths. It goes on, the 4 metre lengths go on a silver carabiner and the 2 metre lengths go on a black carabiner. So if I want someone to go to my pack and find a particular length of paracord, I just go and give them those directions, and they're fine in terms of locating that stuff and getting it back to me. I use a metho stove, so I have fuel down in this side of the pack, and these packs are great in terms of just this open suitcase arrangement. Allows me to find gear really well, so when I'm setting up camp, I just lay it down flat like a suitcase, flip this flap back, everything's in there. Okay, while I'm on the walk, I have a water bottle at the top, and I don't use a bladder. I've used bladders in the past. I've had bad luck with bladders all through my career as a professional soldier. As a parachutist, they're always rupturing. Jumping over helicopters, they were always rupturing. The taps were prone to leaking, and I found it very difficult to manage how much water I was actually taking in during the course of the day. So I just went back to straight 1 litre bottles, so I can monitor the use of my water, monitor the intake of my water during the course of an activity. And that's pretty well it. There's not much else to really go in here, and that is comfortable for me. I'm carrying more safety gear than I probably actually ever use, but that's the way I tend to run. So I have layered gear upon my person all the time, so I've got more survival equipment. I have survival equipment. This entire pack is a survival item, and I usually utilise a vest that has all my navigation gear, a GPS, map and compass for the area I'm operating in, always a map and compass, as well as other things I'm going to use on the walk, like secateurs, a life straw or something equivalent that helps me just top up my water bottles as I'm going along. I hope that's been useful to you, and as I said at the start, it's my take on how things are. So if that's useful, that's great. Take what's useful, discard the rest. So there you have it, guys. That's my take on what I would utilise in the field in a pack of that size for about 2 to 5 days. And that's what I use on a regular basis, so it's field proven, it works for me. You just got to pick the bits that work for you, as we just said. Otherwise, get out there and just put it into practice, see what works for you, and stay safe while you're doing it. See you next time.